going dark. Back from the dead is a miracle, doc. They counted me out. Moment of truth, counting it down. Underdog story was down for the count. Back on my feet, back with a mic, back on the beat, back with a family that bang in the streets. The game on lock, I stand with a key. Standing my ground, I am planning to flee. Standing my ground, I am planting my feet. Taking a stand, embracing my destiny, shaking his hand, flipping the script.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Sunday Night CrossFit Talk. We are here for another Sunday night. We're down one player, but that doesn't stop a good team. They just find a way to win. I don't know how I know that because I don't watch any good teams, but I hear that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, hopefully not like our respective college football teams.
Correct.
Whew.
Yeah, we've got a lot on the agenda tonight. Carolyne is celebrating Canadian Thanksgiving.
Yep.
And she's going to hope to jump on a little bit later tonight. But if she doesn't, that's fine. We can carry the show tonight. This is how we used to do it, old school.
Yeah.
So Larry Young rubbing salt in the wound. He is watching poolside.
Nice.
What is up, Miss Judy Reed? Good to see you tonight. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We are 45 subscribers away from 3,000.
Woo!
So we need, tell your friends, tell your family, hit that subscribe button. Do that. Help us out. It just sounds cool to say 3K as opposed to 29.55.
Yes.
Just want to say 3K. What is up, John Jenkins and Jenny from Dense Updates? She's been on fire lately.
Mm-hmm. Crushing it.
Yeah. And I missed her Glinton podcast day, which I love to catch. But man, it's like one of the last nice days in the north.
Yeah.
You can just tell, like, and I was out doing like all the landscaping stuff in the backyard today.
That's good. I did
Cutting down all the shrubs, getting them ready for the winter. Yeah. And trying to make like Walter a new path to the backyard. So yeah, it's a fun day. Dan Church, 4th place finisher at the Masters Fitness Championships. We'll talk about soon. How are you, Dan? Feeling good?
Yeah, I'd be curious how he's feeling.
Phil DePooper got home from MFC just in time for the show. Nice. So this weekend, you and I, we root for college football teams that have literally shit the bed.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, UCLA was a winless football team, and both of us have now lost. Both of our teams have lost to that winless football team in subsequent weekends.
Yep.
And pretty much just like run over both teams.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, we started okay for the first like 5 minutes, and then it was just trash. Absolute trash. It was hard to sit through. We were at the game. It was hard.
Yeah. So with all that, last week I said I was done with college football.
Yeah.
And then I dipped my toe back in thinking, well, they're going to beat Northwestern and maybe I can and no. Northwestern, who has been blown out by so many teams this year. Nope. Penn State goes on to lose. And today they announced that they are firing James Franklin, which I'm okay with the move. I just can't believe that they're willing to pay. I heard $50 million. Jeff Bako is saying $49 million. What's $1 million between friends? But holy shit. Who has $50 million laying around? Now this guy, who I actually like him as a person, he just makes really poor coaching decisions. I think he's a good human being. I think he teaches the kids well. He just doesn't win in the big games. And Now he doesn't have to do a thing, and he's got $50 million in the bank.
Must be nice. It's right somewhere to be, I mean, considered worth that much.
Oh my goodness. His career record is 104-45.
Not bad.
Which at Michigan State, that would be considered good.
Thanks.
But we strive for more at Penn State.
Yeah.
Literally, last year we were in the Final Four. We were in the Final Four right down to the wire with Notre Dame to go to the national championship game. And
yep.
It is NIL is a new era of football. And I didn't always know this, but like Penn State has graduated more CEOs than any other university in the country.
Wow.
And because of that, they have these huge pockets to pay for players. Like they went all in, like making sure players stayed, that they had a good team coming in this year. And now they're willing to pay even more to get rid of the coach to start over.
It's crazy.
Because it was announced like soon after the firing, basically all the commits have decommitted.
Oh boy.
And are going to probably wait to see who's coming in next.
Yeah. Can't blame them. Yeah.
So, man, just a wild. So I started my day with the Penn State loss. My Pittsburgh Penguins then lost. Then I decided to root for the Cubs over the Brewers, and they lost. So I went to bed last night like, maybe I should just stop even naming a team before an event.
Yeah. Yeah. Tigers shit the bed on Friday night. That was a late game. I couldn't even stay up for that very end of it.
That went 15 innings, right?
Yeah. I went to bed in like the 11th, and Aaron comes into the room, and I was like, shot up, and I was like, well, I said, did they do it? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh. And he goes, wait, did you say did they blow it? And I said, no. And so like, I had my hopes up for like 2 minutes, and then nope, they blew it. And I was like, oh.
Speaking of Aaron, hopefully he doesn't take offense to this, or he's not watching the show.
Not watching.
When you posted your video of you at the tailgate yesterday at Michigan State, you pan and there's Aaron in the frame. He's wearing the classic old school windbreaker with a hat and the beard. He looks like, and I can't ever remember his name, the assistant coach on Ted Lasso.
Oh, I don't know who that is. I haven't seen that.
In that flash, I am sure that someone in the chat knows. But you have to, if we have a moment, I'll look it up at some point during the show. Coach Beard. His name is Coach Beard.
That's hilarious.
Like it just makes sense. Yeah. Coach Beard. Yeah. He looked in that quick pan. He looked like Coach Beard. I was like, what? Wait, what? Because he always wears that like classic windbreaker. And I'll try to find a picture of him. But so anyway, I just wanted to end with that. And what I'm going to do is right now, I'm going to turn it over to you because you were at Masters Fitness Championship this weekend. How did I already know some of your thoughts. I want it to be about how was the event? Like, how was it run? How did it go for the athletes first?
Well, I was only there Friday, to be fair. So, and I haven't even watched the feed from yesterday or today. So I haven't caught up on the workouts except for messaging with, like, I know how Ron and Terry did because I've been messaging with them, but I haven't been able to watch the feeds. So when we pulled up, I was like, oh, this is a nice location. Definitely different than the Veterans Memorial, whatever, that it's been in the last 5 years. And you're right. It's like, it did have more of that Columbus feel. Like it's right downtown. You can walk outside, go get food. So it was nice in that aspect. Cause I mean, you could just go out and grab something to eat. I didn't love the setup in there. I just didn't feel like it was, I don't know. It just seemed, I mean, it was like, it was carpeted. It just didn't feel like a competition floor venue. It just was weird.
Well, it dampens the sound.
Yeah.
Right? With carpet, the sound is less. And so that's where the original MFC was.
Right.
And so we're going back there. And Dan Church says this was his favorite MFC from his perspective.
Well, that's good to hear.
And Dan's there every year.
Yeah.
So that actually means something. That's
surprising to hear. Because I think there was quite a few programming issues. But I don't know. It might have been like the perfect workouts for Dan. That's excellent.
So thoughts? Does it look like Aaron?
Yeah, I can totally see it. I mean, Aaron's beard is way longer.
Right.
But
at a quick pan that you did with it, it looked like Coach Beard.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. When we first walked in, the deadlift handstand walk workout, it was pretty dim in there. By the second event, they turned the lights up so it wasn't so dim in there. But when I first walked in, I was like, this is weird in here. Like it's so dark. Again, it just didn't feel, I don't know, it didn't feel like a competition floor. But once it was lighter and they got over to the other floor with the rig and stuff, sure. I think that one was okay. Again, it's just like, the 20 lanes, it's just so long. Once again, I couldn't tell where people were. They didn't have that in, I don't know if you noticed that, like watching on the feed, are like, what round are people in? I have no idea how to follow anyone. These workouts weren't well thought out in that aspect to be able to follow the story on the floor. They needed either like a pylon or to move something so you knew what round people were on.
The guy announcing on the stream, I thought was really good and actually helped me know what was going on the floor. Okay. But if you're there in person, like you wouldn't know. There's no,
yeah,
right. And but the 20 lanes is just a huge miss always on a stream.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot see the action going on. I watched the first event with Ronica, and like she was out in the top 5, but she was in the first lane. Mm-hmm. There's no way you're catching her plus the middle lanes at the same time with any meaningful view of the event.
Right. Yeah. And even that one, the way you finished your handstand walk and we did more deadlifts and then handstand walk finish. And that was also the finish mat. There were people who were coming back from one handstand walk that I weren't sure if they were done and resting or needed to deadlift. Like I had no clue if they were done or not.
Right. The same thing on the stream.
Yeah.
And as Ronica specifically, I couldn't tell if she was resting or if she was finished. And she actually turned out to be resting.
Mm-hmm.
And then went for another round. I was like, oh, she's got to go more. Yeah, it was tough. You know how I am about finish lines. Without 100%. A specific finish line, I that is my biggest pet peeve in the sport. And that one's for you, KDL.
The second workout was a little clearer, but so many people finished on the totem bar that you had no clue. I mean, if you finished the totem bar and you got to run to the finish line, you knew they were done. So that one was good, but a few people finished that workout in all the heats that I watched. That's the biggest thing I noticed is, once again, it was just over-programmed. There's an entire division of women that didn't even show up.
I saw that. 55
to 59 didn't even show up. Nobody.
Yeah. I don't want to get into specific programming because at this point, I'm not even sure how relevant MFC is anymore. And I want to talk more about that then I want to talk about the specific programming. Train Olive says they were going for the WFP lighting. They had no special lighting at all. It was just him.
Yeah.
They were going for the rom-com lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mood lighting. Yes. KDL knows it all about the finish.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to talk about it in this sense. And I'm not here to dog on MFC because I think they have developed over the years to have a pretty good crew running the show.
Oh, for sure.
Right. From where they started to where they are now, they should be commended for that group of people who have come together and run the show. But what I say relevance is Legends has the games. And then Legends West Coast gets all the big names. Unless people aren't traveling across the country. They honestly go down this leaderboard of individual athletes, and someone that follows the master sport like I do, and I don't recognize 95% of the names, that's a problem.
I agree.
But then I look at the podiums of the teams, and then I see people that I know, right? Way more than I do on the individuals. Yet the highlight of the stream was the individuals. And we talked about this a little bit last week, either on the Sunday night show or during the week. They need to pick a lane and be the best in that lane that they can be.
Yeah, and I feel like they're trying to be like a mini games, and I don't know if that's applicable. Like again, they're heavy, over-programmed workouts. Like I just don't think it's applicable for the field of athletes you're bringing in. You have like 2 games athletes in every division. There's not a deep enough field for people to be able to do these workouts.
There isn't. And you're right. They do program like they have the roster they had 2, 3, 4 years ago.
Yes.
Because the first year they went, they truly were the games that year.
Yeah.
Because the Masters games got canceled, and they invited everybody who got invited to the games to come compete and have a champion for the year. And every big name was there. And since then, it has depreciated in value because I think they try to do too much.
I agree. It's like I've said this before. I think it's probably one of the best comps. I think it's incredibly well run. I like the location. Maybe some other people don't like the location, but it's nice to have something different than Arizona or something out west, right? For people on this side of the country. Normally, I would say it's incredibly well-rounded. We've typically swam every year that I've done it, and I get that right now. But yeah, I don't know. It's like the prize issue and over-programming workouts like leads people away from wanting to come back. When you can't finish workouts, or you're only getting like a round in, and you're like, I'm hurting myself. There was a lot of withdrawals I noticed. That makes people not want to come back. That was an issue with the heavy sandbag. I know like Haley's mom had come to that comp, and she was like, I'm not coming back to that comp. Like that group can't move 150 pound sandbag. They just stood there hurting themselves, trying to pick up, like it's just weird stuff. Like people, it's a bad experience for some people. And yeah, you don't necessarily want to make it more inclusive to be more inclusive, but you got to be smart about your qualifiers that you do and know the level of athletes that are coming and adjust your workouts accordingly. But I think it's incredibly well run. I didn't see any issues. We were off a little bit on time on the one, but I think they do a really good job. Their team there. Judging looked good to me. I didn't really see too many issues. So
yeah, I just think that if you want to be different, do the 2-person teams and run with it and try to be the best at that you can be. Right. And I heard from like Shanna, as an older athlete, sometimes doing team competitions is just easier on the body.
Yeah.
Right. Especially if you're in the off season. Right. And Shanna is a games champion, and she has been around the sport for a long time. And that input means something.
Mm-hmm.
so that's what I think that they may have something with the 2-person teams, because when I looked at the podiums, there were like big names.
Yeah.
That were games competitors in that 2-person team event. It was hard to watch. You couldn't really see it. They didn't highlight it. And I've thought this since after the first year. In year 2, they thought they were bigger than who they were and tried to expand to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
They did 3-person teams.
Yeah.
They did individuals. They and then adding which I think has been a hit, the 30 to 34-year-old division has been a hit, but that was another expansion all at the same time, trying to take all this on, and before you had laid the groundwork of what you should be. And in all honesty, they got rid of some people on the executive team from those first couple of years that needed to go, and now we're very streamlined and have their act together, but they burnt some bridges in those early years.
Yeah.
So I just think I think every competition needs to take a step back. It's like JR runs an individual competition at one point in the year. 6 months later, he runs a team competition, and they don't get slapped together in the same event for half of it to be lost. Like, I think if you look around the space, you can see examples of people who do it much better.
Well, if you want the bigger names to come, you have to pay. You have to pay out of the podium at these events.
Yeah, that's just not happening anywhere. And I think we've just recycled the same sponsors way too much, and nobody's being creative about how to bring in other money.
Yeah.
And that's frustrating. And that's a much longer discussion. So, all right.
Well,
how did your athletes do at MFC?
Terry was 7th and Ronica was last.
Other than the people withdrew.
Correct.
Because there are people that couldn't complete.
That's very true.
She gets credit for completing, for sure.
Very true.
So that's good for them. Terry just keeps getting better and better.
And she's, trying to think how old she is in that bracket. Middle of the bracket, I guess. I'm excited for her to age up and see where she goes when she gets into the next bracket.
Yeah, because when I first got to know her, she was an RX athlete. She's now an elite athlete, and she's now competitive. It's been fun to watch that progression for sure.
Totally agree.
All right. So I was going to go over the leaderboard, but it's really hard. But the teams are really where the names are. And I do want to say what your division, I know more than any of them, right, because you're in it. And I thought that Kate McGee beating Anna Tobias was a pretty big upset. And Kate's always been awesome to us and the show. And so I wanted to just give her a shout out for that.
I was proud of her.
Yeah, beating Anna Tobias is something that I would put somewhere on my wall, a podium picture of me on the higher podium, or something, because that's pretty freaking cool. I know our guy Dan Church took 4th in his division, and now he gets to age up.
Awesome.
So it's going to be interesting to see what he does going up into that 35 to 39-year-old division. Really, I saw Megan Apostolaris. Her team won their age group in the teams. So yeah, I'm trying to think of like our listeners and people who have been really good to the show. But yeah, it was really kind of starved for the big names.
Yeah.
So let's play our new game. Pencil, pen, or Sharpie.
Okay.
So the way this works, because I have not talked about it with you or Carolyn, I just threw it into the rundown. So I'm going to give you a statement, and you're going to tell me, is the statement something that we should write in pencil, or that we can write in pen, or something that's so dead on accurate, let's write it in Sharpie, big and bold. Done deal.
Got it.
And Sharpies are the laundry marker. You can put them in the wash and it's still not going anyway.
Okay.
All right. So I have these in the system. So the first one, basic thing we've been talking about. Here it is. Pencil, pen, or Sharpie. CrossFit is no longer for sale.
So kind of depends on how you interpret this question. Do you mean like there's not an active buyer?
I mean that they've taken the sign down.
I would say pencil, or I would say pencil to that, because I think Susan's mentioned this. Anything's always for sale. So I think it's for sure for sale.
Yeah, but taking the sign down doesn't mean you are actively looking for a buyer. Always for sale means anybody could show up and offer you money at any point in time. But actively shopping the company is a different thing.
I feel like they might be. I mean, they might have realized it's not what it's worth, and they might be rethinking some things or trying to, I don't know what they could even do more so on their book side to make it appear more profitable. I mean, I think everyone knows that it's going to be, I think the biggest problem is it's got to be the right buyer. And I don't know that the CrossFit HQ right now cares. They don't care who the buyer is. That's the problem. The new buyer has to care.
So KDL went pen. Dan went pencil. Judy Reed goes pen. I'm going pen. I think they've picked up some traction, and I think that they believe that they can now make more money if they hold off. So they've pulled down the for sale sign, and they're going to continue down this path and see if they can get the books a little bit better before they go back up on the market.
Yeah, I think they're crazy thinking that.
I don't. I think that they are going in the right direction. I think all the people that came out to try to compete against them are having their own issues, and people are seeing, and they've actually made improvements in addition. We got to give them credit for that. And that now people are seeing that maybe this is the most viable option if we're going to move forward.
I just think in the end, venture capitalists doesn't care about anything but the bottom line. And I don't think that that's what benefits CrossFit.
Then why did they show up to Mayhem to see how Mayhem runs their business?
I don't know. They're scrambling, trying to find other, I don't know. They realize they're not doing things right, but I still don't think, I think their motive is, I mean, maybe it doesn't matter what their motive is per se, but I think, I don't know.
All right. We agree to disagree. I'm not saying Sharpie, but I'm saying pen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And Claire says, I like this game concept. Thank you. Thank you. Looking for something to make it fun. So here is the next one. Pencil, pen, or Sharpie. Tia will win her 9th championship in the 2026 season. And I was very careful to say win in the 2026
I know.
CrossFit game season.
Because I would say Sharpie, she will win a 9th championship. I think I got to say pencil to this until we get more information for her, see her compete again. Like, the fact that she's not doing Rogue has me questioning things. Have we even seen any training footage, anything? Has there been any updated posts? Not that I've seen. I don't follow her very closely, but that's pencil to me. Because, like, if she happens to be pregnant or I don't know.
KDL, Sharpie.
Wow.
Fluffy Fit, pencil. Judy Reed is making her own game up, saying dry erase marker.
Right, Judy.
So I'm assuming that's a pencil.
Yeah.
I got to go pencil too.
Yeah.
The pregnancy thing is so unknown, and that's everything that this is resting on.
Yep. Totally.
is pregnancy. If she's not pregnant, it's Sharpie.
I agree.
And we just don't know which one way or the other.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, cool. So next one, pencil, pen, or Sharpie, WFP will still be around for season 3.
I think I'm going to say pen. I think they're hard-headed enough to push it for a few years. I think they have the capital behind it to be able to sustain it. And I don't know that they would just pull out that quickly. So I think pen.
I kind of want to go pencil.
Okay.
And I want to go pencil because I think it all depends on what partnerships they can garner after the championship in Copenhagen.
Yeah.
Once they do one season, if they can land a streaming service or like Adidas is a full sponsor or something like that, then I think it's a little more possible. But if they don't, I think next year is probably it. And we have pencil from Kenneth because they're washed. Dan Church says pen. Fluffy fit pen out of stubbornness.
Exactly. That's my. Yep.
Every day is an opportunity. I want Elisa Foliano to come in and F shit up. Judy Reed, pen, pencil the year after for sure.
Yeah.
So, yep. So I'm going pencil till I see what they can land for partners in the off season. And Seema back on our last one. Tia hasn't posted on her channel in a long time.
That's
and
what
I
I'm
think
saying.
I think the reels are like older.
Yes.
I think they're like games time.
Sneaky.
Yeah. They have so much stock footage. Like, yeah, I don't know. KDL, if year 3, they make exclusivity contracts and we'll only have 5 athletes. Yeah. All right. Number 4, pencil, pen, or Sharpie. Rich will step away from the greater CrossFit, as he calls it. He's not going to step away from the methodology. That's what I wanted to like. That's why I meant greater CrossFit. He's going to step away from HQ and still do CrossFit.
I'm going to say pencil because I don't think he wants to. I think he wants to figure out a way to, I mean, maybe if this meeting happens and they can come to a greater page, although I see your comment later. Full disclosure, I haven't watched the Sevan show with Dave yet. So maybe there's some more stuff I don't really know about, but I'm going to say pencil. I don't think he wants to.
I don't even think it gets written down. I don't think he does. I don't even think it's in question. I think that he knows, like, so I guess I would say pencil.
Yeah.
I think he wants to move forward together because I think he realizes that they can move together further.
Mm-hmm.
Could he walk away and do his own thing and be somewhat successful? Sure. But I think within the inside the sphere, he would even be more successful.
I agree.
So I will go pencil. Dan with the jab, only if it helps his wallet, pencil. KDL, I have no idea on this one.
It's a tough one.
John George pencil, Terry pencil, Fluffy Fit pencil.
I mean, he's all but said if it sells to like another venture capitalist, he would go out on his own. Like, he doesn't want to see it go that way. So it's, I mean, yeah, It's a tough one.
John George makes a great point. Mayhem needs CrossFit, in my opinion. The funny part is CrossFit only costs him $4,500 a year, which is true.
Yeah.
And he makes way more off of the methodology and what they do than 4,500. Holly says pencil, wouldn't want to, but can't keep waiting to see what HQ does. Hashtag or whatever the slash to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Then why doesn't he join? I don't even want to bring up that name.
No.
Sorry, KDL. Oh my gosh. I can't even. Did you see how many reels that man has posted about me in the last 3 days?
No.
Yeah, I'm just his new punching bag. He was in the chat on my Friday show, and now he has clipped it, and with all of his stuff on it. John George says who? Frank, the head of the apparently all the affiliates who want to buy CrossFit. And he has made these blanket statements, which have turned out to be false.
Yeah.
And he was quoting me that Dave has met with him, but Dave also shared my thing that I said he was delusional. That's the only thing that Dave has ever shared of mine was me saying Frank was delusional.
That's great.
Don't say his name again or it's 3 times. Yes. Sounds like he has a crush on you. Oh my gosh. You just need to block him like everybody else. Yeah, I probably do. Yeah, but he's tagged me in he tagged me in something right before we went on the air tonight.
Oh boy.
Like it's just because I think Hiller blocked him and he can't attack Hiller anymore. And so
I don't follow him, so I don't say anything. Maybe I should, but I don't think I need to.
So Judy, I do want to address. He did say that in my comments on YouTube last week that Don Fall met with him twice. Here it is. Don Fall met with him as a favor to Dave early on before everybody knew he was batshit crazy.
Right.
He's an affiliate owner. He has this group that want to form a coalition, and Don met with him. Okay, I can get that. The other time Don met with him was to tell him that they were going to de-affiliate him.
Wow.
Does that really count as I got a meeting with Don?
No.
And Frank says that himself. I'm not even making that shit up. He said it in the comments or in the chat or whatever. So
that's crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah, I am so one thing. The problem is, Jenny, is I didn't know who he was because he has this new Instagram called Unbuyable, and I didn't know that was him until it was too late. And now I've got it. Now I've just got to block it. Yeah, that's the backstory, Judy, that I figured out through all of his spewing at me over the last week and a half. So, all right, back to our game. 5th one, pencil, pen, or Sharpie. The 2026 CrossFit Games will be in Northern California. And the reason I put this here is because Dave was asked this on Sevan last night and said that he didn't know, but he does know.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't say, I think is how he put it exactly.
I'm gonna say Sharpie because I haven't used it, and I just think it leads to that.
KDL Sharpie, Clock Chalk, Pen SEMA, Terry Pen, John George Pencil. Judy Reed, I say Sharpie. John George, I'm wishing for pencil.
I'm wishing for pencil too. Don't get me wrong.
I'm wishing for pencil too, but I think it's Sharpie.
Right.
I'm going Sharpie. I'm pretty convinced It's the 20th anniversary of the games. He wants it somewhere near the ranch to possibly pull something off, I'm guessing, to maybe take people to the ranch. And he can only do that if it's close. And so I think that is what they're looking for. What surprised me on the Sevan interview is there is a rumor floating out there that it's Northern California this year, back to Albany next year.
What?
And I cannot fathom. The venue itself is fine. Inside, it is fine. It is just in a weird place in New York that, it hasn't been lifted up in a while.
Yeah.
And I just don't know. I don't know. Dan Church says, Penn Clock, am I delusional or did I hear something about games event at Moffett Field? That's NorCal. I don't know what Moffett Field is, so I don't know. I don't know. I haven't heard that. So
Yeah, I haven't heard that.
I think for sure we're going back to NorCal for 20. Whatever happened to Alabama? It was the age group games in 2024.
Yeah, it was awful. I would not go back there.
Please no, never Birmingham again. That place was so hard to get around.
Yep.
There was nothing. You stayed near the venue, but there was like nothing to eat or drink anywhere near the venue. It was awful.
Yeah.
Chris Alford, open announcements at Moffett Field. Is that the one that James announced?
That's the airfield thing or whatever with the planes that they did?
Maybe. I know that James did one. The other one's at Wadapalooza, and the other one has not been announced. Okay. Yeah, 26-2. Jenny says yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, just open announcement.
Yeah.
All right. Last one. Pencil, pen, or Sharpie. Laura Horvath will never compete in the CrossFit Games season again.
I'm going to say pen. I think maybe it depends on if it sells and who becomes new ownership. Maybe she'll have it. But also, if that takes a while and what if she can't even qualify at that point? I don't know. So I don't know. But it is a tough paycheck to give up if you think you can go finish podium.
I am all in on Sharpie.
Yeah.
If she can still qualify for Rogue without doing the game season.
Which do you think you mean getting an invite to Rogue? Because I think she could probably do the Rogue qualifier and get herself there.
Probably.
She wants to get invited.
I think that she just wants to be able to do Rogue. Mm-hmm. If she in her mind thinks I can get into Rogue every year, then I think it's Sharpie. She's never coming back.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't think she wants to deal with all of the stuff around it. The community, the people. And I don't even think it matters who buys or sells or whatever. So we have John George pencil. We have KDL pencil. Jenny with a Sharpie. Fluffy Fit with a super Sharpie.
Nice.
Kenneth, she wants the money. I think she has enough, and I don't really think she gives two shits about the season. Dan Church pen. Clock brand new, never used before Sharpie. Wow, those are dark and black too.
Mm-hmm.
Terry, hopefully Sharpie.
I agree.
There is the sponsors issue.
That is it.
But her sponsors are Adidas now, right? And Red Bull.
Right.
And I think they are really content with her at WFP.
Yep.
And
Rogue, I'm sure.
and Rogue. So I don't really think at this point they care. And if you're sponsored, you're right. Like Fluffy Fit, Red Bull is total FU money. They have so much money, they don't care. And they would just, she's fine. Enrique Noriega, hopefully she won't, like the rest of the people who turn their backs on CrossFit. I'm not quite that harsh about it. I'm not. I'm a pretty forgiving person. But I did want to put something in here, but I just couldn't figure out how to word it was. So I just went with Laura. But like, of all the people who said we're gone, do you think we'll have a lot back? And
no, I don't think we will.
And so I was thinking, like, do you think Fuliano comes back ever? Do you think Emmental comes back ever? Pat Vellner, because Pat said like he may come back and do one last lap as kind of his final season when he was on with Coffee Pods and Wads. But it did depend on certain things. He said his quote was, "It would seem silly to not do the games over a petty argument."
Okay. Oh, I don't know that it's necessarily petty in some people's minds when you're trying to get them fired from their livelihood. Like, that's not petty.
Right. And that was kind of the argument on Sevan last night, is that doesn't seem very petty when you're trying to get people fired. Yeah. And you're almost like downplaying your own argument.
Absolutely.
By first, it's so bad we can't compete. Now, well, it's only a petty argument, so I can't come back. You're like, you're defeating your own stand.
Yeah, I would say most of those people I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see most of them back.
Yeah.
I mean, and is Pat 35 next year?
He's 35 now, I believe.
He turned 35 this year. Like, I do think Pat's incredibly fit and could probably still make it, but you're starting to trend into the realm of, even if he wants to come back, he may not qualify.
Enrique Noriega, do you think coming back will make them look as liars or fair weather people? Yes. Again, I'm a pretty forgiving person, right? I had my issue with Guido Trinidad this week. I forgive him, and we've had a discussion. Everything's fine.
Oh, you did? I was so confused on that.
Dave last night said, if they come back and they qualify through the process, more power to them. We'll welcome them back with open arms. And if the guy who they wanted fired is saying that, why should I be completely upset as well? Right. But you can tell, like, when Sevan was trying to play Pat clips, he didn't want to hear it. Like, until there is that they're back, like they are dead to him until it happens. But if they qualify through the process, welcome back. If Pat comes back, he needs to be booed in a friendly way. I think he will probably get a smattering of boos. But if Ricky Garrard can come back from a 4-year drug suspension and not be booed, and I was there at that games, like I think it would take a lot for this community to turn.
People love Pat. He's just, I mean, you could see it at Wadapalooza. People love Pat.
Yeah. I do believe that the European athletes are probably gone for good. Mm-hmm. I think they took things in a completely different way, and it hurt them more when Lazar died. And so I think they are gone for good.
Yep.
And I like some of them. Like, I like Emmental and I like Elisa Fuliano, and I would love to see them again at the games, but I don't think it's happening. So that is the end of our new game, Pencil, Pen, or Sharpie. Let us know what you thought in the comments. And just changing it up. Usually we do fact or fiction. This way, it allows a little bit more art and flair to it in how we discuss the topics.
I liked it.
So next up, we have Jenny likes it. KDL 10 out of 10. Judy, fun game, Scott. Yeah, cool. 5 a.m. Squad Club. I'll talk about this stuff during the week, during my personal show, but I want to kind of stick to the agenda tonight. John George likes it. So next up is Crash. And we're going to talk about the workouts, and then we will talk about who we pick to do well. And I've lost my mouse, apparently.
Uh-oh.
It was only at 4% when we started the show.
Oh, no.
So have to go to the touchpad. There we go. All right. So workout 1 is an AMRAP of 5 minutes, 9 power snatch, 21 wall balls, rest a minute, and then an AMRAP in 5 minutes of 21 box jump overs with step down, 9 strict handstand push-ups. Score is total reps in those 2 AMRAPs.
Love it. Yeah, it's a good one.
So, and what's cool about this, if people do not know, if you have not seen it, these are the workouts that JR gave Brooke Wells and Jason Hopper when they came together to train.
Okay.
What was that like? I think that was for the 24 games.
Yeah.
He took those workouts, and that is what that's why it's called camp this year. That was like a camp that they had done, and he took the workouts from that and put them into this event. 5 a.m. Squat Club. That first one is ouch.
Oh, yeah.
Well, AMRAPs are going to be that way.
Yep.
We've talked a lot about that there shouldn't be AMRAPs in competition, but we're starting off with one. Any thoughts about that?
Are they doing P-score again?
I believe so.
I don't know. I feel like if you're going to P-score, it's probably okay.
No. These are the qualifier workouts. Apparently, that's the one pinned at the top. Why would
I was going to say this one doesn't
workouts?
Look familiar for me? So I can't imagine. That says online qualifier right there.
Yep, it does.
I was like, I could have sworn it was like everything I saw was like heavy.
Why would they pin the qualifier at the top?
I don't know.
The events. Is this it? I believe I have it.
Okay.
Hopefully. I swear I had my glasses on. Is this the first event?
Yes.
Open season? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to read this out. It's a lot, but it's basically toes to bar, double unders, and front squats. The front squat gets heavier. And it's a 2-inch bar on the toes to bar.
Yeah, it's like a fat bar.
Apparently.
That's gnarly. So freaking heavy, in my opinion.
So, yeah. Credit to Jenny for being a technical expert on the show.
Yes, thank you.
So you love toes to bar, so I'm assuming you love this.
I hate the squat. I wouldn't even be able to do this workout. Which I'm curious if the masters have a separate workout. Because JR did reach out to me and asked if I wanted to come, and I obviously had the surgery scheduled, so I said I couldn't do it. But he was saying that they were lighter this year for masters. Because now that I see these workouts, I'm like, thank God I didn't agree to go do this. Like, I would have been standing around. These are way too heavy.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty heavy. The next one is 4 round G unit, 4 rounds for time, 7 or 6 ring muscle ups, 30-inch P bar traverse, P bar.
Yeah, the P bar, the parallel bars.
Okay. And then GHD sit-ups, 30-foot P bar traverse. Time cap 12 minutes.
Yeah, not bad. Those ring muscle ups are going to get rough after those traverses.
Yeah, that's
but I like it. That's a good work. That's a good workout.
It's a lot of triceps and
it's a ton of triceps.
All right. Hindsight 2030, 6-minute window, row, burpee over block, overhead squats, bike erg. And then the next, 8 minutes, you have the same 4 movements with 20 box clears.
Yeah.
And then for previous, then the last 8 minutes, or no more than that, 10 minutes, we have the previous 5 movements plus 30 pill squats. $170 on the pill squats. That is crazy. That's long. You love long though.
I do like long. What is it? 170 on the overhead squat?
Yep.
Okay. That's reasonable. Yeah, I like this workout. I don't like box clears. I think that's wild.
Jenny says it's gnarly. I think so too.
It's no more gnarly than the hundreds workout was.
The llama, 50-foot sled drag, 9 kettlebell deadlifts, 50-foot sled drag, 50-foot sled drag. It looked 15 kettlebell deadlifts, 50-foot sled drag, 50-foot sled drag, 21 kettlebell deadlifts, 50-foot sled drag. So I'm assuming you have to go up, then you have to go back down. Or you go up, do the deadlifts, then down, and then back up, do more deadlifts, down, and then up.
What are those 2 kettlebells? 105?
The kettlebells are 150s and 106s.
106s. That's crazy. I'm not even. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, your lines are doing well, by the way.
Well, I saw it was 3 to 6. Now I do see it's 9 to 6 right now. So Aaron's got it on in the back.
And they just hit the extra point.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Pulgatory is 400-meter run, pull 1, 400-meter run, pull 2, 400-meter run, pull 3, 400-meter run.
What are you pulling? Rope climbs.
Yeah, rope climb, and then pegboard descent, and then rope climbs.
I like that.
So cut rope climbs, pegboard descent, and then standard rope climb.
This will be a fun one. I think this one will be exciting. I like that he incorporates the run there outside the gym.
Daniel Church is claiming it's a circus.
Oh, I agree. I'm thankful that I'm not going, to be quite honest. These are. Oh, you can do the pull in any. Okay. Well, it'll be interesting to see people's strategies. I like that twist. Pill, right. Yeah, purgatory with a pill. This is purgatory because you're pulling.
Then we have, come on. Precedents. 4 strict parallel handstand push-ups, 2 finisher flips, 6 rounds for time.
It's so like the flip sled thing?
It says finisher flips.
I mean, that weight makes me think it's the flip sled. That looks incredibly heavy too.
And that is the entire work, all the weekend.
Yeah.
I love heavy workouts. Even I see this as heavy. just for the sake of heavy. It's too much even for elite.
I agree. It's not really like JR. It's interesting.
So I will then look for the roster and we will have our picks. Maybe. There we go. Not having my mouse has made this very difficult. So let's look at the Masters real quick, because we do Masters on this show. And sure. So on the men's side, we have Andrew Bennett, Christopher Pinedo, Donnie Pearson, Eric Thomas, Hudson Frick, Jake Dickinson, Mark Hutchinson, Nick Martin, Roy Cohen, Rudy Berger, Travis Flanagan, Zach Gibbon.
I'm going to say Hudson probably. I'm trying to think how strong he is. Zach will do really well, but Zach is a little bit like me. And and again, so this depends on if the weights are different for Masters. I'd have to know what the Masters workouts are. If it's a little more gymnastic-y and not so weight heavy, I will say Zach will probably be towards the front there.
Yeah, I would say just by looking at names, I would say Hudson is probably my pick to win. I think Mark Hutchinson will do well if he doesn't go too hard too early. That seems to be his MO. And I'm friends with Rudy Berger, so of course I'm going to be rooting for him. But he is like 43 now, 43, 44. So he's really on that upper end probably of this class.
Mm-hmm.
And heavy is not his big wheelhouse.
Right.
So John George is rooting for Roy.
Roy's excellent. He's a fellow TTTer. I see him all the time in there.
Then we look at the women, and it's not a big field this year. Allison Beaver, Brianna Wallen, Caroline Klutz, Cara Petrozelli, Mackenzie Riley, Rebecca Stidham.
I mean, I got to go with Caroline.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, Roy is a lot like me also. Super fit, super heavy, not necessarily.
So, Mackenzie Riley's probably going to hang in there.
Oh, for sure.
So I would say between Caroline and Mackenzie is who I would lay picks on. All right, let's go to the main event. If I can find it. Sure. I saw it here. Nope. Here it is. All right. Here are the men's. I'm not going through the big list. The big names that we have: Colton Mertens, Connor Voles, Dane Smith, Drake Lewis, Jacob Marlowe, John Wood, Caden Myers, Luke DeJong, Mason Griffin, Matthias Porter, Max Krieg, Mike Needleman, Nate Ackerman, Tanner Balaz. Am I missing any of those?
No, that Ilya Moskalenko, isn't he the really, really strong guy?
Probably.
I'd be curious how he does this weekend. I mean, I think Colton's probably your
winner.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who else out of here is incredibly strong. I mean, I think Mason's pretty strong.
Yeah, I think Nate Ackerman's getting there.
Yeah.
I just don't know where he is right now. John George is going Colton Luke toss up for 3.
Luke DeJong? He's not very strong, is he?
KDL says he withdrew or something, but I've not seen that.
I don't know. I'd say Max Creed could be up there. I think Nate Ackerman's a pretty good pick.
Yeah. Then on the women's side, we have Ali Zerke, Amy Hosking, Brittany Weiss, but she withdrew too, I believe.
Oh, geez.
Caitlin Bernardin, Carolyn Stanley, Erica Folo, Faith Ferguson, Hannah Hardy, Caitlin Sanders, Kyra Milligan, Lindsay Lane, Liz Wishart, Miley Wade, Molly McGrandy, Morgan Porter, Paige Rogers, it is now, formerly Paige Powers, Rachel Noel, Reese Littlewood, Samantha Pugh, Trista Smith, Zoe Warren. Someone said there's not many women at this event. There's a lot of high semifinal athlete and above at this event.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some good names here. I mean, I feel like most people have been picking Kyra, which seems like a good pick because she's incredibly strong.
Yeah.
I
think that's what's the hard part. Like on the surface,
yeah,
I would have Reese Littlewood competing with anybody.
Yeah.
There's so much strength to this that I think it's got to be like Caroline Stanley or Kyra Milligan.
Yep. I think it's one of those two for first and second. And then it's going to be all over the place. I think there's going to be a lot of movement. I think anyone, these people can do well at certain things, maybe not so well at the other. And there's probably gonna be a lot of leaderboard movement besides those like first 2 or 3.
Gosh, I keep going to the mouse. Samantha Pugh looks like she's been putting in the strength work lately. She might do well here. KDL Stanley all the way. John George, I think women will be more interesting than dudes. I think it's much closer. KDL says Stanley versus Powers all weekend. I don't think Powers is ready. I think she'll do well. I don't think she'll podium. But I do think she'll be ready by next season.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
She looked good at WFP. But yes, I think it's going to take a little more time.
Yep. I truly think this is a Caroline Stanley, Kyra Milligan weekend.
Agreed.
And it's going to be the non-strength events and how well they do to determine the winner. Like that pick your pool, I think Kyra is going to crush.
I agree. Well, I don't know that I doubt she'll win it. There's going to be people, much better runners that have decently similar pulling strength.
But she's going to be going up against Carolyn, and that's what or Caroline Stanley. That is where she's going to have to make her moves, and she's a better runner than well, her and Caroline are both bad runners.
Caroline Stanley's a good runner.
She did not do well at Mayhem last year.
She was
died after the
that workout, wasn't she? With the burpee box jump over?
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm pretty sure Caroline Stanley crushed that workout. Like, I was surprised at how well she ran. Maybe someone in the comments will remember.
Yeah. All right. So that is Crash. Vicky is agreeing with you. I'm still depressed over the James Franklin firing. Sorry. John George, one thing JR is good at is making sure that you can't just be strong. You have to be fit. So I'm guessing some of these are more fitness than they seem. But you still, at the end of the day, have to lift it off the floor.
Yeah.
And like a 205-pound front squat for a woman is pretty heavy.
Yeah. I don't even think I would have gotten past the 185 bar on that workout.
All right. So we're already, wow.
I know.
The night is flying by. So last I'm going to talk about is a couple podcasts from the weekend. I talked about the Rich Froning podcast. Jenny made a clip of it and said hot take. And I want to explain it a little bit further. And that is that they put out a reel with Austin saying, are we going to de-affiliate? That all the hot words and all the hot topics were in the reel.
Mm-hmm.
When you go into the actual podcast, every time they got to one of those key words, someone of the three would say, oh, wait, I don't mean to interrupt, but, and they would completely change the subject to like a hunting story or like not even in the same realm as where they were. And I think they strategically used clickbait to bring you in, and then they played a game with you and left you with absolutely nothing at the end of the 90 minutes.
That's annoying.
And so there were comments on Jenny's post that she clipped of me saying that, of people like, come on, they're just good guys. This isn't what they were trying to do. They were trying to do this. This was all a strategy that they had to play a game with all of us about the drama around CrossFit.
Right.
So, anyway, it was worthless. There was really nothing of substance that came out of that unless you wanted to hear their hunting stories or whatever. It was not just because Rory wasn't there. It was a strategic plan. The reel went with the podcast. You take the reel of what they were saying to bring you into the podcast, and then how they structured it throughout the podcast was a strategic plan. And that I will write in Sharpie.
I agree. They know how to cut those clips and clickbait, if you will.
Yeah. So the other thing that I wanted to bring up is Dave was on Sevan last night, and I would say that this also didn't have a lot of substance to it unless you wanted to talk to Dave about the drama going on about Dave. Right. But there were a couple key points I took from it. And don't get me wrong, I was entertained about Dave's response to the drama. Like I unlike the Froning podcast, I was entertained throughout this, but it was it resulted in more the drama than the substance. So Dave did talk about why he met with the athletes at Wodapalooza SoCal, which I found fascinating. And that is because he had kind of taken a step back and realized that back in the day, because CrossFit ran regionals, they ran all of the different elements throughout the season and the invitational and all of that stuff. They didn't have touch point. They had touch points with the athletes then that they don't have now.
Mm-hmm.
And so by going to SoCal, that gave them a touch point with the athletes where they could talk to them and get their opinion and let them talk freely. And he said in that meeting, Tia was definitely the leader. And you could tell that she has taken on this leadership role, mentoring the other athletes and really like embracing who she is and embracing that they have this proven affiliate in Nashville that they run, and that they run it as both an affiliate and as a comp training camp, and all of this stuff. And he said that at the point they are today, he thinks that she is more influential than Rich.
Wow. That's a hot take.
And really, I think it's because she's still active.
Okay.
Right. And she's won 8 times. He won 4. I would say that Rich has developed into a better communicator, but I digress. Sevan asked him about semifinal locations, what semifinals were going to be included in the game season, and Dave gave him nothing. And he also said that he knows why Rich is upset, but he would not discuss it on the show.
Wow.
And that he talks with Rich weekly. And he does know why he's upset, but he was not going to, it's not his story to tell, and he wasn't going to tell it on the show.
That's interesting.
He did basically say that Tia was the GOAT. Can you summarize the TDC drama? I didn't watch. I could, but so some of it we've already talked about, like that he would welcome people who left the CrossFit Games season. If they would come back and qualify and make it to the games, he would welcome them back with open arms. Sevan did ask him about why Fee got so much media attention this year from CrossFit after asking for him to be fired last year. And he said, listen, her and Royce both came to him personally and had conversations, and they are good.
Okay.
He didn't go into details as to what those conversations were, but that they had I think he said like the class to come up and have the conversation with him one-on-one to talk about it. So there was that. What else there was a lot of the stuff that Pat said on Coffee Pods and Wads that he asked for Dave's reaction to. And we talked about where Pat even said that, why would I let a petty argument keep me from the CrossFit Games? And we talked about what the result of that was and why would he call it petty when you didn't do the games last year because of it? You're undermining your own argument. Sevan did ask him about machines, being too many machines at the games. And he said there aren't. That was pretty much it. I think that was, he did talk about it. Okay. Here's probably the biggest hot take from the night. And that was that he did say that athletes use CrossFit and the platform to gain attention and gain favor in the space. And they shouldn't then get upset when the same community that they are trying to get favor from turns and brings a different light to something. You are asking for it by putting it all out there into the space. And so you've got to take the good with the bad, essentially paraphrasing what he said. When the bad comes, it's got to come, and you have to accept it. It's another part of it. We've been saying that all along. If you want to be a professional athlete, you are going to get ridiculed or you're going to get judged by the media, regardless of whatever sport it is. Like this Lions Chiefs game at halftime, someone is going to be judged that was on that field in a not good light. Whoever is losing or whoever did something wrong, whoever fumbled the ball, whatever it is. So, yeah. He mentioned we met with the PFAA. Brent was there. Pat wasn't. He did mention that. But that's been talked about before. That was kind of the beginning of like the can you trust Brent at the time when right after the letter and all the stuff. And we knew that Brent had met without Pat at an event.
Yes.
Or something, right?
Right.
That's not new news. Again, Sevi, like usual, made promises kept. From what he said on KT, he would ask him about sharing SEAL stories and about connecting with the bridge. TDC said nope, and yes. Well, I think it was more than that, Ken. I don't think you're being fair. TD said why. TDC. Dave Castro said why he didn't share Navy stories. And he wanted to keep that part separate from all of this. It's not something that he wants to share. He wants to move forward. And he gave a lot of different examples as to why he would want to do that. As for the bridge, he was very open to connecting with them. The bridge is an affiliate that is helping people recover from addiction. And Sevan asked him, could they buy like $20,000 of L1s and hand out to successful people who have recovered to help them move forward in life. And Dave said, of course, let's connect us. We'll get something. We'll get something together with them. So I think he answered both those questions. He just didn't give a Navy story because he doesn't want to. Sevan always tries to push Dave, and Dave is just too wise to fall for that trap. It's an interesting mind game. %, but was giving off cliff notes. Yeah, I think that's who Dave is. The best I saw Dave this week was they were going to do an affiliate podcast. The affiliate didn't show up. Nicole Christensen talked about a workout she did. Dave didn't like the workout. Nicole got the person who programmed the workout on the show, and they talked about the workout because the affiliate didn't show. And it actually turned into a very interesting conversation. And I don't even like to talk about programming. And I think they've stumbled onto something that would be very well received. Basically, you bring your workout, Dave shits on it, and then you defend it while he's telling you why it sucks. And what I loved is Nicole Christensen did not back down from him in 1 second of that conversation. She loved the workout. She loved the vibe it gave the gym. And just so people know, the workout was every 6 minutes you did 1 sled push of 50 feet, and then you did 14 or 10 calories on an echo bike. And it was meant to be an all-out sprint. Her gym only has 2 sleds. So what they did is they ran a person pushing the sled every 30 seconds. And so you have to get your sled down there and off the bike so that person isn't running into you, right? She said by the end, she almost threw up. And you're on mute, just so you know.
Yeah, that's what bike sprints will do. That's gross.
That's what Shut Up and Scribble does with everyone's programming in the space. I don't disagree with you, Jenny, but they usually do like a whole events programming. What I liked about this is it was shorter and it was just 1 class workout.
Yeah.
And then he gave suggestions like you could do it with this and like a plate carry instead of a sled push because you don't have enough sleds, or you could, and like they were talking about why you would or wouldn't do it this way. And Nicole was saying that what was cool about it is you have people running by each other, like giving high fives, because they're like, you're in a class setting in vibes and you're all working together to keep this train rolling. And it just was really fun.
Yeah, it sounds like
definitely different, Jenny. This is like roast my grandpa's favorite recipe. Yeah. And he's saying, like, in a cooking show, like Gordon Ramsay would say, this is awful or whatever, and why it's awful. And Dave is just kind of known as the programmer of the games, been around CrossFit since the beginning. It just was like, and it was a fun discussion.
I think it's a great concept.
I like the idea. It's what members do before and after workouts. Exactly. Only you get to do it with Dave Castro.
Yeah.
That's what was cool about it. And they had Nicole, who did the workout. They had the head of Misfits, who programmed the workout. And then they had Dave critiquing the workout. So you had these three elements kind of coming together and fighting or whatever. KDL calls it an idiot sandwich. It was just fun. It was just fun. I like Nicole's input. As a class workout, it's different than if I read that workout on my own too. And what was really funny is that Dave said, oh, these are the rules that I think of when I'm programming. And then Nicole would call him out for breaking those rules when he did this workout or that workout or another workout. And he goes, yeah. I usually break my rules, but I'm just saying. So it was good. It was good. The other highlight podcast of the week that I will shout out is, and I can't believe I'm doing this, Inside the Box Office with the Glintons. I tuned in just to see if it was going to be something, and it turned into be so much more than I ever thought it would be. And if you have not watched it, it is more about, it's not about CrossFit at all. It's about where we are today and in society with the way we look at one another. And it was freaking awesome. Kudos to Mesa and Kate for being open-minded. Kudos to Colleen for digging in on things. And kudos to Garrett for hanging in there with everything and giving examples. It was freaking awesome. And it was way more than a CrossFit show. Way more. And if you haven't seen it, you need to check it out.
I haven't watched that one yet.
So Ken says, great non-CrossFit show. Yeah. And if you didn't like those choices, Lunch with the Clydesdale is going to be here all week. And we'll do some stuff. Hopefully we get some more news. Felt like they were staying on Mesa to actually admit she stuck on something too. But I think she did. And that's where it was wild. I think Colleen gave her a perspective she's never been presented with before. It actually turned into table conversation over the weekend when I had dinner with friends, and that's how much it impacted me. I'll just say that.
Interesting.
KDL, big giveaway on the 100th episode of Dense Updates too. Go check that one out. Yeah, I think you just have to put Dense Bitch in the comments and you are registered to win the prize pack.
Awesome.
So, with that, agreed, the women's bathroom for Garrett's side definitely rattled things. Yeah, everything got rattled in that show, CrossFit, everything. Sarah added some BPC to the prize. Wow. All right. With that, It has been a blast, everyone. But if you win, don't tell anyone you used it or you'll get banned from the
Yeah.
So with that, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We are so close to 3K. I'd love to hit that by the end of the year for sure. I wish she would have kept that her closing song. I think it just needs to be sprinkled in. I don't need it every time, but every once in a while, it's not bad. With that, we will let you go watch the second half of the Lions and Chiefs game. Don't forget to tune in all week long. I've been trying to get a guest to do like a Friends With episode again this week. Struggling with that, with Crash coming up, getting the people I wanted to get, but I'm going to keep trying. And we'll see what happens. With that, we'll see everybody next time on Sunday Night CrossFit Talk. Good night, everybody.